Hi and welcome to the SeeMedia training video on fillboard installation and POS implementation. Firstly, we'll take a look at the equipment needed to complete this job. There will be several items that will be provided to you by Crossmark. The first of these is 2 collapsible safety cones. The cones come in these white boxes and they can be extended by pulling them up from the middle, and they collapse again for ease of transportation by pushing the cone down to the base. We'll also send you a high-vis vest that must be worn at all times while working on the petrol forecourt. You will also be supplied with a dummy nozzle. This is to replace the nozzle that you will be installing the fillboard on. You'll also receive the fillboards themselves. There is one of these for each pump at the petrol station, and this is what a fillboard looks like. You'll also be supplied with a plastic lid for every fillboard you have. This plastic lid goes on top of the fillboard and houses the point of sale. For this installation, there will be 2 types of generic POS that should be alternated between nozzles. This is number 1, always place portable containers on the ground before filling, and this is number 2, keep children inside the car when filling. There are a few things that you will need to provide, and you can expense them to Crossmark. The first thing is a spray bottle of cleaning fluid such as spray and wipe. The second is a heavy-duty cleaning cloth or rag, something like an old t-shirt. Before you commence work, you must sign in with the site manager and advise them of the work to be conducted. This has all been approved by Woolworths Caltex head office, so introduce yourself from Crossmark representing SeeMedia and let the site manager know that you'll be installing approved pump fillboards. You will need to report the first and last names of the site manager you speak to on your form, so make sure that you note these down. In the unlikely event that any managers refuse, call field support immediately for assistance. Your high-vis vest must be worn at all times while on site for your safety. When starting, place the safety cones on either side of the bowser you are about to work on. This will stop the traffic flow around the bowser. Then you need to take the first pump you are working on from the cradle and replace it quickly with the dummy nozzle. This will stop the alarm ringing inside at the service desk. Once you have inserted the dummy nozzle, you need to remove the splash guard from the nozzle. Spray a liberal amount of cleaning fluid onto the nozzle and use a twisting motion to remove the splash guard. Then you need to install the fillboard on the nozzle. Once again, spray quite a lot of cleaning fluid as this will help. It is a tight fit and you do need to use a bit of strength, but with the twisting motion and enough cleaning fluid as lubrication, you'll get the fillboard onto the nozzle. It's then very important that you replace the splash guard and wipe the nozzle clean. Once again, make sure that the fillboard does fit snugly over the rubber insulator of the nozzle. So this is a correctly installed fillboard. You can see it does fit very snugly over the insulator on the nozzle. Then you need to attach the plastic lid to the fillboard. This is very easy. There's a small flap at the top of the fillboard and a hole that you can insert the top of the plastic lid into like this. Then you need to insert the fillboard point of sale. Very easily, open up the plastic lid from the bottom, insert the generic point of sale underneath the plastic lid and push the lid firmly down so it clips back into place on top of the fillboard. Once again, do make sure that the fillboard fits very snugly over the pump. For this installation, you need to alternate between the 2 different types of point of sale on each nozzle. So start with POS number 1 and on the next nozzle, place POS number 2 and so on, alternating between nozzles. All pumps should be fitted with fill boards, but there are a few exceptions. Do not place fill boards on LPG pumps or high-flow diesel pumps. In addition, if the site has normal diesel nozzles, leave 2 of these without fill boards so people can fill up with diesel while you're on site. Finally, you may encounter 2 types of nozzles that you will not be able to attach fill boards to. The first one of these is known as an OPW nozzle. These are an older style nozzle and won't allow the fill boards to be attached. Here's a picture of one. You'll notice it has OPW written on the rubber insulator in front of the trigger. The other nozzle is a ZVA slimline. You won't be able to install on these nozzles either, but you need to report the number of them on each site. Once again, these nozzles will have ZVA written on the rubber insulator. You do need to report the number of ZVA nozzles on each site because we can modify the fill boards to send and install at a later date. If you're unsure of how to identify any of these types of nozzles, check with the site personnel. Always carry out your work in a safe and courteous manner, giving way to customers at the site at all times. Your work area must be left clean and safe on completion of work. When you're finished, sign out with the site manager. Do refer to the documentation available on the SeeMedia StoreTrack site for more information. If you have any questions, contact Crossmark head office and we'll do everything we can to assist you.